Hi, John here. Just wanted to make a short video in response to 360 STS. He asked about me quitting field inspections, and I explained that basically that I still do mystery shopping, and from time to time I'll do like the occasional field inspection stuff. And recent thing I kind of got into was focus groups, and he was asking about that, or he said that he's or she applied to focus groups but never received a call back. Don't know if they're legitimate or not. I could definitely say that they're legitimate in the sense that, like, the ones I attended, they paid in cash and check on the spot. So, there was no delay of waiting about, like kind of wondering when you're going to get paid and stuff like that. That's a lot faster than a lot of mystery shopping companies and even, most field inspection companies, though. They're asking about what my thoughts were about field inspections and secret shopping in Houston, Texas. So I can say that, like, I've seen assignments, all over the country and stuff, and Houston, Texas. But he's saying also that, or she's saying that you need to start making money, side money now. So with that in mind, I thought I'd make a quick video on some, how I would approach the problem. So number one is I would sell something. That's like absolutely like if you're looking to make fast cash and stuff, that is the fastest way. Whether you do it on Craigslist or there's new apps like OfferUp or Let Go. I'll definitely have links to those apps in the comments or in the description. And just generally all of them work pretty much the same way, that like you take a photo, you have a description of what you're selling. Take a good photo. That's actually one of the key things about that, is that if you take a bad photo, like kind of either it's blurry or dark and stuff like that, people pretty much are going to be hesitant to, like kind of even go much further and stuff. So you want to take a really well-lit, good photo with a reasonable price. So what's a reasonable price? Look at some of the other items that's, selling and see how quickly they move and stuff like that. And that'll give you a ballpark of, like, it doesn't matter so much how much you think something is worth. It's definitely more, matter of how much are people willing to pay. The next thing is that, like, to look at something like Craigslist for what kind of work is available. So let's go take a quick look here and see what we can see. Okay, so the one I have, of course, is in California, but let's go to Houston, Texas. U.S. cities. Let's see if Houston. Yep, there's Houston. And start off with like the gigs, because the gigs are going to be things that's more immediate. And here right away we see a focus group on health and wellness. Now the thing about these is that, like, they have some kind of survey, and you seeing whether you qualify, or they're seeing whether you qualify, stuff like that. It'll pretty much describe everything and stuff. Don't get, kind of disappointed that, like, you don't get qualified for the first one. It seems like they're asking for a lot of people, but a lot of times, like, kind of, there's narrowing it down to a few people that they want to have for a focus group. And you could be one of, hundreds of people applying and stuff like that. Especially a city like Houston, where there's, like, basically, thousands of people, like, kind of, that may be applying for these and stuff like that. So be patient with some of these and stuff like that. Otherwise, look at stuff like, whether it's a, possibly some kind of brand ambassador or stuff like that. If you have any kind of ability to, sell something and stuff like that, if you don't, then that's probably not the right thing for you, unless you're willing to give it a shot, see how it works out for you, see how you're willing to learn. Because a lot of these different things that, like, like, as with, my story with field inspections, I really didn't know the first thing about how to do field inspection, but I was willing to learn. I knew how to use a camera, basically, and how to upload, download photos and stuff like that. So it's a thing of, you have to really decide for yourself how much you're willing to learn and how much you, like, kind of, in the end, take the $100 test. And that's a test that, like, my friend Barbara Winter talks about, where see how it feels to make the first $100 doing something. It's relatively lower risk of, of your time and commitment, stuff like that. And then being open to like kind of just trying something, like being curious and experimenting. So some of the things that like a lot of times around the holidays are they need, more catering help. They need, possibly somebody to help, sell Christmas trees and stuff like that. There's a lot of things that will probably show up, in a place like this where it's just gigs and not so much jobs and stuff like that. It's a lot of temp work. It's a lot of, so that's the first place I would look in stuff on Craigslist. And beyond that, there's the temp agencies. So that's like another good place to look and, kind of to give it a shot, see what they have available, what they're, what kind of help that like either it's the office folks who are like kind of taking more time off for the holidays and they need some extra help and stuff like that. Other times retail, like kind of, have you ever worked at any stores and stuff like that or restaurants? These are folks who like around the holidays, they need the extra help. They need, basically people to fill in and stuff like that. So those are the main areas that I'd look at for that, more immediate cash and stuff. Because to be honest, with field inspections and mystery shopping, it's going to be a spool up time. And what I mean by that is that there's going to be an amount of time after which you apply, they get you set up and stuff like that. You start getting assignments, you do the work, that then you get paid. It's usually with field inspections, it's at least a few weeks out. And then, for them to get into the system, for you to get scheduled on that. For mystery shopping, you're looking at the soonest 30 to 60 days out for those, because that's the soonest that they'll pay. And that's usually people that are established. Never mind, like, you learning, the game, so to speak, of, what it takes to get scheduled for mystery shopping assignments and, different times, their expectations. And you need to also be willing to make mistakes that, like, actually a lot of assignments require you to purchase something or, show receipts and all that kind of stuff. And if you're already low on cash, that may not be the best idea for you. So that's why I'm making recommendations for some of these other things to do more immediately. And then from there, you can always add on mystery shopping. You can always look into field inspection, stuff like that. So just wanted to share some of these thoughts and ideas. Let me know if you have any questions. As always, there's different ways to reach me. I'll leave the link for, Calendly if you want to schedule time to talk and stuff like that. And basically, like I said, these are some of the ways that I know that like I've done that has worked with earning cash in almost any location and stuff like that. If you're in the middle of nowhere, like in Oklahoma or something like that, and where there's just like very, little of these kinds of opportunities, then you're going to really have to get to know people, and that's kind of the key, because we all have heard the expression about it's not what you know, it's who you know. I think it's what you know about who you know that's most important. What is it that like, somebody who's a business owner most needs done? Who do they know that like needs, something done and stuff like that? Because usually a lot of the business leaders are connected with each other. They'll be the best sources of leads for any situation out of all the different, kind of people, because we tend to kind of ask friends and family, and they may not be the best leads and stuff, but if they know somebody, that kind of thing, that like is a business owner, that is a VP or, somebody else and stuff like that, a manager, those are the people that you want to get connected with. So let me know if you have any questions, but definitely, like I said, these are my recommendations for the best ways to approach how to make, money faster versus later.